Good, thanks. You?
Yep, good, thank you very much. And let's start sharing screen. I think I've done everything. I've recorded, I've posted into the groups the right way. Okay, so I was on live trading this morning. We did have a bit of a change on Euro JPY, so I've redrawn the scan on that. One reason I only ever worked to a 10 pip stop loss, so you can see that long extension leg has gone right up to a new D point. So it still is at the moment a valid D scan. If we go to, so we can't yet put on the 25 to life. The D point had been down here, but it's now up here. So I've just pulled it up to there, and we'll just have a look and see if there's anything we can do the 25 to life on that I haven't got on yet. This one looks good. Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, but it's not in the New York session. I don't think I've got that one drawn. I can't remember, so I'll just have a quick look at that. This one we did put it on yesterday. Australian dollar, US dollar. So you can see it's working its way up quite nicely. We've now decided that we're not going to bother putting the 75 on. This is a buy scan, so you'd have that on if the scan went the wrong way and you were looking for this is as I understand it, it's all fairly new to me as well. So if the scan had gone the other way, then we'd be looking for it to retest that line and go down there. But I suppose in effect that means it's a failed scan, and we only want scans to work off the swing high, or in this case the swing low. So what we decided on the session this morning is that on the settings we would take off this. We don't need that 75, we just need the 0, the 25 and the 1, because we're looking for any of these trades to test that 25. So let's just see what happened on this yesterday. Wait for that to move across. So we drew it from there to the body of the second candle, which is the longer candle, which will be in this case that one to the right. So 2 candles over to the body from the wick, take it to the D point, the very lowest point of the wick, but only go to the body of the candle because that's where price is closed. And you can see that blue one is longer than the second one. No, it's not. I tell a lie. That's the second one, was longer on the left. 2 candles up, this green one was the longer one. And then we're looking for price to we're looking for the breakout candle, which is that one. In fact, it's that one now, isn't it? So breaking out up there is this one. And then to come back and retest that line there. So let's move these. This is, I mean, please tell me what you think, because it's all new.
Sarah, isn't it?
Sorry, go on, Rob.
I beg your pardon, Helen. Isn't the 0 where you put your top of the second candle, not the 25?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to ask as well.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Thanks, Helen. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah. And I thought my other circles were correct. Sorry.
I think you were right when you started.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. So 0 to that body.
Yeah, that's it.
That means this is the breakout candle then there. Yeah. And then it's retested.
Yes, yeah.
Back there. So there's our point of entry back here where that wick. Yes, I think because we were discussing yesterday whether a buy limit would actually trigger, weren't we, on that. So there's it. So it has to come back down to there, doesn't it? The 25. That's it. So yeah. it would have triggered, and then a nice little buy I don't know what the take profit is on the scanner, but I think Paul said from the 25 up to, he drew a 50% line, didn't he, off the C to D. That was right, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, that's what David Kahn said this morning. Paul was looking at the take profit 1. So I haven't tested these yet between take profit 1 or 50%. That was new to me this morning.
So if I drew a fib from C to D to see where the 50% would be, is that what they're saying?
Yeah, that's what David Kahn said this morning. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's try both then, and then we'll look at the take profit 1 on the scanner, and then it's as simple as that. And we just reverse it. We'll find a sell and reverse it, see if we can find a live trade on a sell. So fib retracement from the C down to the D. I'll change the color. So that looks about right. And then I want to go to settings, which is this little cog here, and then add in, I don't think I've got 50. Well, there's one there. 0.5 would give me 50. Yeah. So there's our 50%, and it's just wicked through on the hourly. So that's perfect, isn't it? That played out well. And then so that's why David's saying take your profits at the 50%, because we can see it's now dropped back down, because we all always know that money will flow through the market through levels. And in fact, it dropped back down, and it had stalled on the quarter theory, just wicked through, just made the 50%, but the 62 EMA, David uses the 50, is pushing price. It's acting as a ceiling, pushing price back down. So it might come back down as far as this D, my trend line there.
That's not a surprise.
Hang on a minute. Let me just find out who's. Just do that. Okay.
Here.
No, that hasn't done it. Who else is on that hasn't? Can you mute yourself? I can't see who's
Kind of like
talking.
I think it's Carlos.
I think it's Carlos.
Oh yeah. Okay, got it. Thanks. So so it might come back down to this point, but you know, it is a buy scan. It is on its way up. Let me put on the hull, see what that says it's doing. Whether it's still going down on the 15-minute. So there's the 1-minute hull, red. That just tells you whether price is in a buy mode or a sell mode. It's just a simple indicator. But the background one, the 15-minute one, should be loading. Just a bit slow to load with the bands here. It should be loading that band. Put it on the 15-minute. See if that speeds it up. Yeah, so on the 15-minute time frame, there's the red band in the background. So it's still saying price is pushing back down. So we might expect, I'm just looking at that trend line going up there. Here's the trend line, these lower highs. Here, it's broken through that. So you've got a new trend forming down here on the 15-minute. Like this. I'll turn the hull off, make it look like Star Wars. So that new trend that's forming on the 15-minute is doing that. And it's just at the 25% again. That's interesting, isn't it? So if logic is right, then and the 62 started pointing up on the 15-minute. That should say price has leveled out there. It's not going to come right back down here, and it wants to carry on and make another go at getting up past this orange dotted line again. So the only thing not in our favor in getting back into this, yeah, it's just turned green on the 15-minute on the hull. Sometimes it can flip back because it's a lagging indicator. But if we wait for price to get, it's had a little break and retest. It's not my normal way of trading. That's 5 pips there, because normally I'd get in on this now at this next level. I'd wait for it to get above these 2 lines of resistance. This is a trend line, the dotted line, and that quarter theory. And then look, this is what I would normally look at. A break and a retest and up to there. So how many pips away is that? That is only about 7 pips away, so not far away. So I think what I'll do is I'll put an alert on this and we can come back to that. But I don't know, am I right in saying you only do the, yes, because you need the swing high or the swing low. So the 25 to live strategy works off the D point. It wouldn't be, you wouldn't work it again. I think I asked Paul this on message yesterday. You have to have the swing high or the swing low. So I do like it as very much as a strategy on new scans. I think it's very simple, particularly for new people, very quick and easy, very few things once you've got your head around it. And that's what's helpful about talking about it and trading it as a group, just to make sure you can get the process down without really thinking about it.
I agree, Sarah. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? I really love it. I was talking to Tony Lupino this morning, and he said as soon as he saw it, he thought of me because it was so like, you know, into the using the harmonic scanner. So I'm just going to change this to my alert color. If you've got the free version of TradingView, you can't put alerts on, but there is something called an alert app which you can use on your phone, which does a similar thing. So we don't have to sit and stare at this. We can just come back and have a look, see what it's doing here, and whether there's a trade to be taken as a buy, carrying on up there. And I've just done it on the 1 minute because I don't trade off the 1 minute. I use the 1 minute for precise entry. And on that Euro JPY, which I lost as well this morning, I actually broke my own rules because normally I'm far more conservative than the Bollinger Bands. I'll wait for it to come below. I was going to wait for it to come back low, test quarter theory, do a break and retest, and below my pitchfork, and for the 62 to come down, and I got in early. So I've lost 10 pips on that, but I'd always have a stop loss of 10 pips, so it wasn't too bad. But hey, live and learn. Get your trading plan together and stick to that. It's obviously what we should all do. Right, okay, so that's AUD USD. And I'm going to close that because it'll still ping. And let's see on the harmonic scanner if we've got any new. Yeah, I want to look at AUD NZD because I'm not sure if I ever drew this, because this, I don't know if this has moved too far back or whether it's coming back. That's on the H1, whether it's going to come back to the 25. So I'll just, there's the Euro JPY. I'll just load up AUD NZD. There it is there. And in fact, it's still pushing up to the quarter theory. And let's find this other one. Where are you gone? There. One hour scan. So the last one I had was the 11th of Feb, and that is the 19th. So we'll just draw this one on very quickly. So if you're interested in how to copy them across, then it's make sure your time zone is the same as your local time zone. UTC +1 for me, Paris time, UTC in the UK. Use your vertical line, X point, look down at the bottom. They write it in American where they put the month first, 0211. So reverse that and I write down 11:02 at 0900. Move your cursor along to write down A point, 12th of the second at 0300. Then the B point, 17th of the second at 07. The C, and you do get faster like anything with trading as you go along at 0100. And it's just important that you're accurate. It's just a little bit fiddly at first, but then once you've done them and you've got them on properly, you're good to go forever. They last forever. So I'm just going to write down while we're here the stop loss 1.05081, entry, because this is a live sell trade, 1.0482. Excuse me, TP1 1.04545, and we'll just write down TP2 1.04393. Let's see if we've got a trade here. So I'll just fade that out so we're not distracted by that. And this is the pitchfork off that. So normally what I do is change them to green or purple and put my most recent one in white. Again, I strongly recommend you use the same colors for everything you're doing, like trend lines and things, then you don't get in a muddle with what line means what. That was an alert, so I'll take that off. Okay, so there are two ways you can do this. You can either get the brush, which is there, and you just mark, you're always marking highs and lows, high, low, high. So if you look at this, you can virtually see where it will be. You come over here, I'll do it this way for this one. Neither's right nor wrong, it's just visually which way you want to do it. There's the XABCD pattern. So X is 11, make sure your time is the same as your local time zone down on your trading view, and it'll probably be that one. Now this is good where they overlap, that makes the scan more powerful. So there's the X point. I've got 5 points now held on my mouse, so you just find the point, put your magnet onto the left here so that it will suck on to the end of the wick. And then that's the 12th of Feb at 03. The B point is 17th of the second at 07. So there's that high point there. The C is the 18th at 01. And then the D is up there at 08. And there's your scan. That's a bit bright. And then you go to make sure it just looks the same. It does. And then go up here to this pitchfork symbol. You just want the simple one at the top. I've got it saved in indicators for the star, so you can just find it under favorites. Go back to X, and then a pitchfork is X to C to D. I make the latest one white. And then this is the only fiddly bit, because it's very important that they're accurate. So we're going to zoom in, and I'm just going to check, because if we're down at the, if you're on the 60-minute chart, you've only got one candle, and your pips will end up, because these are valid forever, they're much more accurate than trend lines, pitchforks. They're very, they've got a thing called Fibonacci built into them. So you can see, even though I put it accurately on, it's slightly off when you come down to the 1 minute. So you just want the nearest. If you put the magnet on, it doesn't matter really if the shape is just there's the shape. The important thing is the pitchfork. And this saves me drawing pointy bits of lines of support and resistance. I'm simply using trend lines. And you can see it's off here, so I want that lowest one there. And then what you do at the end is lock them on. And then they won't glitch on you. But I do, if I'm using an older scan, because the beauty of doing this is you can be taking trades over many months, because the trend lines, the pitchforks will remain accurate. Oh, that just doesn't want to go right on that one. That's it. And we'll measure the scan as well, see how many, because that's the other thing, it helps you work out your profit. Your stop loss is not just the stop loss to protect your account, it's also your profit regulator. Helps you work out your ratio of how many pips you're going for, your percentage return when you're compounding your account. So if you're using a stop loss of 10 and you're going for 10 pips, that's 1 to 1. 10 pip stop loss to 20 pip profit is 1 to 2. So for every 2%, I'm making 4%. So 30 pips would give me 6%, and that's how I work out percentages. And let me just see if I can, that's because it's actually on an old trend line there. And the last one, sorry, it's slightly slow because I'm on Zoom. I locked it on because then it doesn't glitch, even with a magnet, doesn't push any of the other lines out. And that's nearly on, it's not off very much. But they do need to be accurate, so and you do get faster as you do them. It's just a bit slower because I'm on Zoom and I'm talking at the same time. Doesn't want to go on. Nearly got it then. It does not usually as fiddly as this. Oh, there. No, it slipped. Let's see if I do that. Took it back there. Go on. That's it. Right, then down to your object box down there. And just lock those on and then you're good to go. Right, back to the hourly and let's look at our trade with the 25 to life. And that's because I've got it on Zoom. So there it is drawn on your trading view, and that's good forever now. And you can see that the D point has, normally I'd see if it's solidified 20 pips. It has, it's moved down 24. That means the scan isn't going to do what Euro JPY did, which is redraw. That's normally a good sign it has solidified. And I'll just see how many pips we've got in this from C to D. It's 64, so it's slightly smaller. I usually have a rule of only 80 pips or more. But well, for the 25 to life, I'm sure we can use smaller scans, and also you can use it down on the 15-minute scans. So what we're going to do is let's prove our theory and see. So it's already hit the pitchfork. Let's go to our fib then, which is this. You go to the pitchfork menu again. It's got all these wonderful options. I haven't a clue what all the, I've never even used any of this stuff. Never. The only thing I use is the pitchfork, and this one is what you want here, the fib retracement. So I'm going to put that on. We need to look the lowest candle to either to the left or the right. So I think we're all agreed it's that. It's this one, obviously, isn't it, on that right? So we do it from the wick of the and wick of the D point down to the body. Let's move that along so we can see more clearly. Lovely pink and yellow together. And then we don't need that 50% for the purposes of this one. We'll just untick that there. There are your settings. That's simply all you need. You can make it any color you want. And you want, you don't want the background on because you can, oh, it hasn't done it, but you'll come up sort of solid. You don't want that. And then you want the percents on here. And that's it. So we've got a retest coming back. That looks to me like, has it broken out of the 0%? 2 candles. Yes, it has. And now is it coming back? Oh, so this is, do you agree that's perfect then? We're waiting for it just to come back up. Is that right? That's what I think. So it's the candle's broken out on the 3rd candle. So we draw it from there back to, we're looking for it to come back to there then. Put that in black so you can see it more clearly. So if we look at what the figures the scanner gave us, it said entry, let's put a horizontal ray on. It said entry at 1.0482. That's quite high, isn't it? No, 482 there. Right up there. 1.40482, yeah. So right up there. And let's just mark that properly. 41819,482. So that's the scanner entry. We'll just change that color to, I don't know, purple. And then it had take profit 1. I'll just clone that. Take profit 1's down at 1.04545, 1.4545. And then what we're going to do is put our 50% on for 5. Oh, so it's hit take profit 1 on the hourly then. And where's our 50%? So if we draw another fib to see if we've got further to go, because Paul was saying this morning they will usually go to take profit 2, even take profit 3, which will be down at the C point. So we'll have a look at that. We'll get the fib again. And this time we're going to take it from the D. The magnet will suck it onto the D point. And there it is on the C. I'm going to change the color. And I'll make that black. Oh, it's given me the wrong one. Settings, fib retracement settings, yellow, change to black. Sorry, it's just slow to load, I think. Try another way. Why isn't that changing color? Oh, I need to add on the 50. We'll do it like that. 50, that's why. So I just need the 50 to show us, don't I? Gone. Did that take my fib off? Let's go back down to this one. Settings on this one. Add on the 5. I can take those off for this one. And I'm going to make that black. There we are. So that just gives us the 50 line fib. And that shows us that we still have 7 pips to go, which isn't a lot, is it? Let's have a look on the 15-minute. So if we go down to the 15-minute, that showed us the line going back to the 25%, didn't it? But it hasn't done that. It's come down. That's the 0 that's come on the 15-minute. It's retested the 0 point, and it's just coming down through the pitchfork down to there. So it's only 7 pips away from take profit 1 to the pitchfork. So I don't know whether that means I think that what that means to me is that you've now, if we go back to the hourly, that's kind of the trade been and gone, isn't it? Unless if it goes back to the 25%, you can then take it again. That's as I understood it from John Doherty the other night.
That's my understanding too, Sarah. I think it hasn't triggered, has it? It hasn't gone back to the 25% line to trigger.
Not on the hourly, has it? No.
It hasn't got, no, it hasn't on the 15-minute either.
Let's have a look at that then. Let me go back there. Yeah, you're right. It's just, so we've still got, so that's good, isn't it? Because I'm using this pitchfork as because I'm testing whether it is very complementary with a pitchfork to me, because look, you can see it, you know, almost to the pip, it's wicking off the pitchfork. So on the 15 minutes, so if it goes back up there like that, then we get into the trade. Yeah, simple as that, isn't it? It hasn't gone back to the 25 yet. So we're going to look at a sell limit for it to trigger at 1.4666 as entry, and then our take profit 1 is down at the 50%, which is a bit lower than the take profit given by the scanner, which gave it a bit more profit. The scanner gave it at 1.04545, but we've got it at the 50% line at TP1 1.04470. Agreed? Which gives us 19.6, that's 20 pips. Wow, that's perfect. So if I put a short, yeah, 20 pips. Oh, I like that. So if I put a short position on, short for sell, long for buy, you just click on the left-hand side. And if anyone who's on the 7-day free trials watching, very welcome. It's lovely to see you here. Hope you enjoy your week. And a 10 pip stop loss, which is what I would normally do, down to there. So I'll just do it on the settings. Entry price, correct. Profit level, it's in pipettes when it says 200, so that's the right of the decimal point, so it's actually 20 pips whenever you're working these things out. So you put in 100 there, and stop level, stop loss on price, I put it in as 100, and take profit would be 4, that says 44, well that should automatically adjust now, I've typed it in there. And that's it there. So what's nice about that on the 15-minute is the stop loss, you're covered by the pitchfork. In fact, I've got two old extensions underneath, so you've got 3 pitchforks protecting you. bit like when I was talking to Tony on the phone this morning because he's moved to Tewkesbury. So I said, how's the flooding there? Because I know Tewkesbury. And he said, oh, they've dug great big ditches around the town, 15 foot deep. And I thought, oh, yeah, that's a bit like these lines. They're your barriers, like your moats, stopping your price from going back to taking you out. And the 50% is 20 pips down there. The only thing I would say to watch out for is watch out when your take profit reaches 1.04500, because that's quarter level theory, which is a strong level of support and resistance, in this case resistance. So you could find that price will in naturally, once it's done that and it comes down to the pitchfork there and it's hitting off quarter theory, that it stalls along there before it decides what it's going to do. And then it'll either go like that, back up, a bit slow on the system, or after stalling, it will do a break and a retest and come on down. So that's what this is a key area for you to be looking at. And if it does break through, then you're looking at TP2 of 1.04280, round it down to that. And let's go back to the harmonic scanner, and that gave us a take profit 2 of 1.04393. So let me just write that on so we can compare what our thinking is to the scanner. Just go to the right click on it and clone it. Four, five, four. That one's the cloned one. So take profit 2, the scanner says, is 1.04393. The scanner's saying round about here. The scanner's saying there, and I'm saying price will want to go back to that level, but I can see an old pitchfork running through there. In fact, I can see 2 pitchforks running through exactly the same spot. So that's, I'll just bring that up for you to show you. There's one, and here's the other. That's just pure coincidence, but that to me means it's a very strong area, 2 pitchforks. So this is a very strong area of resistance right at the scanner's take profit level TP2. So I would expect price very strongly to stall out along here. It's caught between that and the new pitchfork, and then it'll either go up, carry on up, back, or it would it'll either, you know, reverse off here or go up there and reverse off there. But you do need to be looking at this area here. So I would put your take profit in this case at the scanner one for take profit 2 at 1.04390, because it's got to, you know, get through quite a lot before it comes down to, we'll call that take profit 3, I think, down here, 1.40280. But in theory, sometimes, as we know, it should go all the way down. The scanner's usually pretty good, and they've given take profit 3 right at the C point at 1.04148. But that's I think that's quite a good one. I enjoyed that one. I hope you did too. I'll just get rid of some of those marks for us. I don't need all that brush marks. Okay, has anyone got any questions so far then? You all okay on that one? Yeah, all good. So that's ORD NZD. Have we got any other news? I forgot to look for this afternoon. Oh, we've got CAD news at one. We've had CAD news then, Canadian dollar. Right, that's okay, so that's out the way. So we'll look at USD, JPY, Japanese yen. just see where that is. I think for the 25 to life, I'm better off starting always with the scanner to see where I've got new scans, because it works off that D point, doesn't it? So I think, because I really do like this strategy a lot. Whoa, what's going on here? Whoa, it's quite a move up there. So I'm going to go back to the scanner. Now, as the market hots up in the spring, we will see more scans appearing. And you can see what's happened here. This is actually a failed scan on USD JPY. It's gone straight to stop loss. Straight to stop loss, so that's no good. USD JPY using the 25 to life. USD CAD, that one's already made its move. Let's look on the 15-minute, because I'm not adverse to drawing smaller scans. Not adverse, I like the idea of drawing smaller scans for that strategy. But we've got one here, but this is a shark. We don't like sharks until they've come to the second entry point or TP1, and I haven't got enough candles to draw that anyway. But euro, Australian dollar, that does look like quite a big scan, but maybe not. It's on the 15-minute. It's 50 pips. That one's failed. Here's one, but it hasn't quite got enough candles on it. $48. That's already moved. This. Oh wow. So nothing there. So it doesn't matter which broker scans. There's a lot of. I've never ever seen that before, apart from the last few days. I think it's updates on the system. That one's already moved. That's already moved. Yes, that's going to be a nice. This is going to be. I'll put this in my group later on, and maybe Forex traders. The Forex Dreamworks, if you want to look in there. I put all things harmonics in there. There's the odd USD. So there's nothing new there. Yeah, nothing there that we can take. They're all broadly similar. They're just slightly different feeds and prices. So we haven't got anything new that we can use there. So I think that's, to me, is the only downside of 25 to life. You've got to catch it at the D point, haven't you? Yeah? What do you think, Helen? Still there?
You have, Sarah, but if you subscribe today to Hoff's Telegram channel, it gives you an alert every time there's a scan drawn.
I thought I was subscribed to that, but I see coming through. Have I dropped off
I
it?
think if you have a look, he changed the channel recently.
Oh.
So I have had.
Oh, it's this one, is it? Hoff M15 H1 H4, is it that one?
I think so, yes.
Or there's one here. There's one here which is
sorry, I've cleared mine. Yeah. No, it's definitely called M15. That looks like it, yes.
Oh, so I am in it then. I just don't see. Have I switched the note? Maybe I switched the notifications off for some reason, because how do you do the notifications? I can't remember now. I always get a bit confused with that.
Nor could I. I'll have to go and have a look to see.
Oh no, I'm not on mute. Look, because it's got mute at the bottom. But do you know, they're not coming through for me. show recent messages. I just haven't been getting these. So mute and unmute. So that should be coming through, shouldn't it?
No, I think actually there's something where it actually says you have to turn the notifications on and off. Sorry, I'm just waiting for my Telegram to open. Let me go and have a look.
Thanks.
That only sends through the hourly and 4 hourly. It doesn't seem to be sending through the 15-minute ones.
Well, last year I used to get them like pinging the whole time. I got sick of seeing his face on my screen. And this year I just have had like 1 or 2, hardly anything. But you're right, Helen, this is the way to then be able to hop on, quick fib, do what we've just done, and you're in. You're good to go, aren't you? And just put your sell limit or your buy limit on. And
yeah, so
work out the take profit. So if you are out at work, you could also put the take profit in and then just go back to your, or put the exit manager on, cash out at the 50 line. Yeah. Cash out at this 50 line, half of it or 3/4, and leave the rest to run. That's what David says, doesn't he? Yeah, so I don't know why I'm not getting the alerts through on this, because I've clicked the mute on and off, but I'm definitely seeing very, very few. Like I've only seen one.
On the right hand, I'm not sure how you get it, but I've got a panel down the right hand side of mine. It's probably that, and I've got and I've actually got a
here we are.
notification.
Yeah, you see my notifications are on.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'll switch it off and switch it on again. So I should be getting that.
Because I'm getting them all the time.
No, well, I'm not.
Too many to cope with, to be honest.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? But I suppose you just then work out your time of trading, the hour you're going to spend trading, or whether you're off to work, you're going to do it for half an hour beforehand, or when you get back after the kids have had tea or whatever, and switch it on accordingly so you can catch some of them, because that's the good thing. You kind of, it's like Paul says, a Chinese buffet of, all you can eat, isn't it? So there's always going to be trades. So nothing more on the Harmonic Scanner. Great that we've got the HOF going on here. So if anyone else is on and looking at this, it's on the Telegram channel. David Hoffer, Eisenhofer, the HOF we call him, because that's a ridiculously long name. And he is, he's so successful. He's now a full-time trader. He actually given up an extremely good job. And he developed this program for us to give us these alerts, which he did for us starting last year. So he's got about 1,000 subscribers. So you can subscribe to this and then have that on your phone. I've got it coming up on my computer, but obviously you can get this to appear on your phone and just do this very simple strategy. So I think I mean, I'm always looking at the Harmonic Scanner in the morning. I check in for about an hour. But I'm not looking usually at the 15 minutes. I don't bother looking at the 15 minute, but I think I will do for 25 to life. That's the thing to do. But the market is still in winter mode. It's still warming up. There's one. What that's NZD, New Zealand, Japanese yen. So that's why it's worth clicking through. That's nearly 50. Now, the other thing is, you see, I won't have had these drawn on because I don't normally work to patterns this size. So I might have to choose a different color for these if I'm going to keep, well, actually, I don't need to keep them on, do I? Because you just take the trade. And then as far as this strategy is concerned, they disappear, don't they? So I'm going to, if you want to hop off to go on Sharon's, please do. I won't feel offended. I'm just going to try this one myself, as I've got 2 candles to the right. So I just want to see how this works out as a trade. So I'm just going to quickly draw this on. X, A, 20.
NZD Jappy.
This is New Zealand Japanese yen.
Okay, thank you.
And it's a 15-minute one. So as I say, like with other strategies, the only ones you need to be aware of as are shark patterns. Sharks always bite, and that's because the D point moves. So we only look at the figures on those at second. They're the only pattern that has 2 entry points. You don't want to be getting into a shark until it's at the second entry point or the take profit 1. But what I haven't tested it on is how the second entry point lines up with the 25% on this strategy. And definitely when I start taking the show on the road with my friend Helen, who's going to be joining me shortly, then who lives in France, another PR woman, so we had mutual contacts, how we got to know each other. We're going to be teaching this strategy, unless Paul's found another one in the meantime. So let's go to NZDJPY. And if you are using TradingView, please make sure that your time zone is the same as your local time zone, and also that you are putting on the same time frame as the scan that you have drawn, because normally I'm drawing hourly scans, but I need to make sure this is on the 15-minute up here. Local time zone to me, that's correct. And just pull this down. And let me get rid of, that was obviously from those black lines means I was testing this on this one. Right, okay. Change that color, green. Okay, that's on the 15-minute. So we've got, let's grab this quickly here. X, which is 17th at 21:30. A, 18th at 20. Gonna be there. B, 19th at 03. That's probably that. Oh, I've got 03, but that's the highest point there. C is at 07. And D, there we are up there. Okay, so what I'd like to do, because I like to test this strategy to see how it overlays with the pitchfork, is just very quickly put that on. Just slip there. And just make sure we've got it on. Oh, there it is. High point there. See if I can speed this up a bit. And that's your C point. I'll leave the pink pattern of B points on, because as I say, the pink shape is just to show you the shape, really. You don't need the A points on. I know why my Telegram wasn't working, because when I very rarely go on it these days. When I clicked on it, I think I know why, because other notifications are coming through that I don't usually get. When I clicked on it, it said there's a new version to download, and I clicked yes, I'll download it. So I think it needed to install the latest version. That's what's happened. So that was That's helped me a lot today. Thank you. Come on. Go on there.
I think Warren's dropped off as well, but he said that apparently Hartford said there's a problem with the 15-minute notifications at the moment, which he's looking into.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Jesus. I can see why people don't bother with pitchforks sometimes. It doesn't help, I think, that... yeah, that's why I switched it off, because I get that all day long otherwise. There we are. Oh, just had it then, and it's like fishing. Right, so that's that done. And I'll just lock those on. Now they're, sorry, that's so fiddly, but once it's done, you know you've got the confidence that you've got them in the right place. Otherwise, they're just untradeable. Right, so we can have a look at this, and then we'll call it a day. That's the one we want. That's my daughter. Ignore her for a minute. She's coming over next week. Right. Okay, so that's brilliant. Right. So on the scanner, we've got a stop loss. This is NJ, a stop loss of 70.83881, entry 70.73412, and a take profit one of 70.58474, and a take profit two 70.47121, which I think will do us. Won't write down the third one. Get our fib. Go from the wick. So the longest candle is that one on the left. I'll have to change the settings on this in a minute. So I can't draw it on accurately till I've done that. So it's quite easy to do. You just change back. We know at the moment no, in fact, I'll leave that, but I'll uncheck it. I'll put it back on in a minute. So we just want to put back on, literally just put back on our 0, our 25 and our 1. I can tick that. No, I can't, because you need to draw the fib further down. So we want our 0 to 1, 2 candles to the body. Let's just get that bigger. 2 candles to the body from the wick. And we're looking for a breakout candle, which we haven't had yet. So you need the breakout candle to come below the 0%. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the 0 line on the body or the wick of the candle, Sarah?
Ah. You're right. I've done it wrong, haven't I? No. I've drawn it wrong. 1, 2. It
Candle.
needs to go there.
Yeah,
so what we're looking for then is trend line. We're looking for a breakout candle we haven't had yet. So let's say it's going to be there, just back to there. Yes. So we're looking for it to come something like that. Yeah. That's how it's going to be, isn't it? Because we haven't had a breakout candle below the 0%. That's all we're waiting for. And we're looking, because that's drawn accurately, we're looking for a sell limit. And how does this compare to the harmonic scanner of 70? Of 70.683. And then we've got horizontal ray take profit 1 according to the scanner is 70.584. And take profit 2, which is right on my pitchfork, so I like that. And take profit 2, 70.471. 471, which is below quarter theory. So for me, on take profit 2, rather, I would look at 70.500 as my line of resistance for where price is going to falter. Take profit 1, I'm very happy with, because that's exactly where it hits a pitchfork at 70.584. And now I'm going to see where this magic 50% line hits. So I'm going to put the fib on from the D down to the C. And I just need to change the settings so that we've just got the 50% to look at on this one. So we don't need the others. So the 50%, well, it's just between the two, TP1 and TP2, and it's above quarter theory. And that is the 50 MA then, which is 70.536. You could call it 530 or something, I suppose. So I mean, that's just so dead simple. And how many pips is that? And then we'll look at the stop loss. The pips from the 25 to the 50 is 14, call it 15 pips. So therefore, what does our stop loss have to be? Is the ratio good for us? Stop loss of, let's draw that on. Horizontal, you know, and we can speed up on these. It's not going to, you don't have to kind of, it's like driving, isn't it? You don't think about it after a while. 838. So that's 840. But you see, we wouldn't want the stop loss. I'll put the short position on in a minute. We wouldn't want a stop loss of, oh yeah, there's 1-to-1. So that wouldn't be too bad. It's not my normal way of trading. Short position. But because I've got the D point and the pitchfork, and we know it's solidified by 20 pips, I'd feel very comfortable at putting the stop loss at just past my pitchfork, or even on the D point if you wanted to be the previous high. You could have it from there down to the 25, which would be 8. So I would prefer that, because that's like my normal ratio of 1-to-2. And I'd feel very comfortable with putting the stop loss at that D point. So that would be a stop loss of 70 point. So I'm going to try this one when it hits 70.771. And I'm not used to trading with sell limits. So I will put an alert. That's the way I like to do it, because I'm at home all the time. So I'm going to have a trend line. In fact, I don't even need to draw a trend line. I can just shove it on there. I can make that into, I thought I could make that into an alert. Or maybe you can't on a fib level then, I didn't know that. Doesn't matter, I'll just do a horizontal line on the 25. I'll have it just slightly there so I can see what's happening, and I'll add an alert. It's just slow to load, that's it. So that's now got an alert on there. So that's, oh yes, I'll just put the short position on so we can just see it in all its glory. So, okay, so entry price at 70.584, wasn't it? 584. profit level at the first, at the 50 line, which would be 70.536, and a stop profit of 70.771. So that gives us a rate. That's not right.
I think you've got your entry price as the take profit 1, Sarah.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Being dumb. I've got my entry price well spotted. I just wanted to
we
make...
said 683.
For the entry?
I think we said 70, well, I wrote down 70.683.
Oh, yes. Yeah. You see, I just wanted to check that you're still paying attention. 683. Profit level, the first profit level, 70.536. That's the 50 MA. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the stop profit, the stop loss at the D point, 70.771 or thereabouts.
Mm-hmm.
So that's better, isn't it? So we've got like a 70, because I'll put this on the watch list for people. So 70.533 TP1, and we could have that at 8, 70.763, and the entry remains at, still want the entry to be 70.763. 673, yes.
683, I think.
683, yes, that's got it. It's got it there. Entry price. Take profit 1 and stop loss 763. So that's it then. I mean, I know I've been slow doing it because I've got to think about it, but I mean, I just find that so amazingly simple. I mean, I think it's, you know, fabulous use of the harmonic. You can use it on smaller scans down to 15 minutes. You've got, you know, fairly safe 15 pips to go for, and you've got a nice risk to reward ratio. I really like this strategy a lot. I think, you know, for new people, it's just fabulous as well. It's just easy, isn't it?
Yeah,
do you find it easy?
I think it's really easy.
Really easy. And with the Hoff giving us the Telegram alerts, you know, just brilliant. And so it's just, I used to have the exit manager. I haven't got it anymore. So it's just installing the exit manager so that you could take out your 50% or 75% of your trade at that point, and then leave the rest to run risk-free down to the take profit 2 or the 70.289. Let's see where that pans out. $70.289. It should be at the D point, C point. So that's at that C point. So call it. I don't know how many of them go to this take profit 3. Call it 290. So TP3 70.290, and that would be, so it's 20 pips to TP2. 20 pips, and then down to the TP3 is 40. Very nice. I like these. I like the sort of like harmony of the ratios, you know. It kind of feels good the way that all works out. and that's a 4 to 1 if it did it down to TP3. That's nearly 5. Risk reward of 1 to 5 nearly. Nice, isn't it? So
That's
I think
good.
I'll,
Thank
yeah,
you. Thank you, Sarah.
you're welcome. I think I'll put that, I'll just take a snapshot of that. It looks a bit colourful, but it'll do for the moment to put in the group, and then I'll write the figures up. I'll just double check them, because sometimes I end up, what I do is I just end up with like scribbles, if you can see, in my book. And that's why sometimes I put them in wrong. So I've got to learn to be tidier. And I'm telling you that because I know you're a tutor. So Sarah, your scribbles. Okay, great. I'll stop sharing. And thanks very much for staying on. Hope it was good. Okay, have a great rest of your day. Yeah, bye.
Bye.
We'll do some more tomorrow.